Welcome to the city where the buildings are black, the streets are calm, the sky is purple, and the moon is full. It is lit 24/7, 365. Got the latest news in games, comics, movies, and television. Welcome to the city of the Twilight.
Hey, welcome to episode 3 of City in the Twilight. I'm your host, TheAnnoyingVoice.
You're not the host, you're a co-host.
I'm the co-host for the summer, TheAnnoyingVoice.
Just call yourself co-host.
I'm the host for the summer, okay guys? Shh, I'm not a co-host.
Hey, I'm MitchellMatthewsMedia.
I'm GrandOwlGaming, and today we have a guest for us.
Dino.
Alright, so
He's not a dinosaur.
as you've already heard,
Clarify.
we got the annoying voice over here from the first episode.
Hello, everybody.
Because David has disappeared, because, we tied him up in the chair, we now have this
We tied him
guy
up in
here.
a chair and threw him in the woods, and we'll see how he'll survive over the summer.
So now we have
you
the
tied him
annoying
up in
voice
a
over the
chair.
summer.
We tied him up in a chair when we dropped him off in the woods.
Okay, fair enough.
He'll probably come back as Bane, I'm pretty sure of it.
Ugh.
Alright. Well, first I want to just give off some pretty unfortunate news. City in the Twilight will no longer be on Spotify because...
Spotify.
Spotify?
SoundCloud.
Oh yeah, SoundCloud.
It's not going to be any longer on SoundCloud.
Well, because we have our regular account and we're only allowed 180 minutes. Basically,
okay.
So, but there's something that we can do. If we all just, pitch in some money and donate, then we could be able to get us a premium account, and then everything will be okay. But we're not gonna start with donations right now. I mean, maybe later in the summer.
We're not gonna do that
So
yet.
check out City in the Twilight on YouTube.com.
Yeah, I already left a message for all the SoundCloud people saying if you want to stick in, then just go over to the YouTube.
Why did you phrase it that way?
You want to stick in?
That's a very poor choice of words.
Hey, guess what? You want to tune in, not stick in.
Tune in, not stick
What are they
in.
sticking in?
Oh no.
You don't want to know.
They're sticking on to whatever this is.
Hey,
Tune the radio.
what other
Don't
announcements?
stick. Never mind, I'm not going to go into that.
Okay. So, I also noticed that as the weeks have been going by, things have been getting a little more hectic around here, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be slowing down anytime soon. So that means that obviously we're going to have to cut to commercial every now and then. This is where our lovely viewers can come in. If you basically have a YouTube channel, and you have an audio ad that you would like to place on City in the Twilight, just submit the MP3 file to our email, cityinthetwilight@gmail.com.
And if we don't get any submissions that week, we'll just play some elevator music.
Yeah. Also, you don't have to, unlike every other podcast or YouTube channel with monetization, you don't have to actually pay for this. This is just a free audio ad that you could put in so that we can get more time on this podcast, and we can cut it off when things get a little too hectic. Alright guys, so
Makes sense.
we ready to go right into the news?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Hello! My name is Mitchell. Welcome to Movie Time.
There's the spike again.
And I'm the annoying voice, so I'm going to help out here.
Yeah, the annoying voice actually knows his stuff about movies and comics, so I guess we can't call it Movie Time with Mitchell.
No, I just said
anymore.
I'm Mitchell. This is Movie Time. See, it's different.
Okay, so it's just called Movie Time.
TAV, yeah,
Movie
the
Time
annoying
with
voice.
All right, let's begin. First up, X-Men Apocalypse. Wait.
Only
Okay,
one out of
okay.
four
Let me
of us
get
is
my
actually-
breath in.
I'm the only one that saw it.
Yeah, only
Let me
one
get
out
my
of four
breath
of
in.
us
I want
is
to talk
so.
about it.
Okay, fair enough.
X-Men
Okay.
Apocalypse came out this Friday and has been doing...
Today,
Yes. And has been doing pretty lackluster in terms of the prequels. Both X-Men First Class and Days of Future Past, in my opinion, were amazing. Both getting in 87 and 92 and Rotten Tomatoes equally. Yes, I know. And this new one has been getting a 48%. A lot of critics have been calling it dull and lackluster and overstuffed. But actually, a lot of the audience has been giving it good reviews. So, Annoying Voice, you're the only one out of all of us who's seen it so far. Give us your thoughts.
well, as a huge comic book fan, there was a lot to love in this movie, because the thing is that, like, there was a lot of fan service. They did a good job setting some stuff up, and there's a lot of cherry-picked moments that you can pull out of a film like this, and it was very entertaining. But that being said, as a movie, it wasn't very good. Unfortunately, it has a lot of storylines that that start and then don't come to fruition like quite as well as they could have.
All right.
Yeah, they just don't come together as quite well as they could have, and it begins to become kind of rather bloated and not set up very well.
How did Oscar Isaac do his Apocalypse?
He looked like he was bored trumping around the film sets, honestly. Like, he has mostly a lot of makeup on, and he's not given a lot to do, so he looks very, very bored, honest. Not gonna lie about it.
Did anyone give great performances?
As far as great performances go, I'd say Michael Fassbender was the one that really stuck out.
Well, he always kills it.
Yeah.
Haven't seen Steve Jobs? Damn.
Michael Fassbender was not given a lot to do and was not given a lot to act off of, but there was a few more emotional scenes that he was able to, put in. The new kids, a few of them are good, I think that the guy who plays Scott Summers did a rather good job. Evan Peters is probably the best, acted character. He has a lot of funny lines, and obviously the big infamous mansion scene.
Days of Future Past was made from that Quicksilver scene.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that ends, you're like, man, this is so
imagine that Quicksilver scene, except times by 100, but not directed particularly well, because Bryan Singer doesn't know how to direct movies. Then you get his scene in this movie.
Well, who directed the last scene?
Bryan Singer, but that was a more small-scale, intimate thing, and Bryan Singer has very television chops directing. So the thing is that I think that very much him directing a very small-scale scene in Days of Futures Past did work, because he was able to put it all together. But with Apocalypse, it's on a far larger scale, and while it's entertaining, it's not great. There was definitely better ways to have directed the scene that Quicksilver is going to be infamous for in this movie.
And what is the movie out of 10?
Honestly, I had to think about it for a while, but I honestly say it's a 6.5 out of 10. After some consideration, it starts out pretty well, and the first and second acts are rather solid. Singer's direction isn't the best, and the screenplay is kind of sloppy, but the first and second acts are rather solid, and it really just goes off course in the third act, which is where it kind of tapers out.
Alright, along with X-Men Apocalypse, coming out this week is Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass, which is about time travel, apparently.
And time is played by Sacha Baron Cohen.
I don't believe anyone else has seen it, am I correct?
No, I didn't see it.
I haven't seen it.
I went last night.
Alright, well,
I was actually looking forward to seeing Through the Looking Glass, but then you said it was about time travel, and now I don't want to see it anymore.
Right. Now, this, of course, the sequel to Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland,
which was terrible.
I think a lot of people give him a bad rep, but I usually watch his movies. The only reason I enjoy them more is because, the art style was really great to me. I mean, not to anyone else, but, people say, his Chocolate Factory is bad, and maybe I agree, but, all the art in his film, really blows me away.
The aesthetics in his films are amazing.
That's probably the reason why I don't give him such a bad credit.
He seems very bored directing the first Alice in Wonderland film.
Yeah, a lot of it seemed pretty dull.
And also, Chris Stucken talked about it, and he said, this isn't directed by Tim Burton, and the direction felt kind of flat without him. And I'm like...
Well, honestly, that's how X-Men Apocalypse direction actually turned out. Bryan Singer's direction is very flat. I can understand.
Tim Burton...
Through the Looking Glass
Tim Burton doesn't always make good films, but at least his aesthetic style. At least his aesthetic style brings it up.
I understand what you're saying.
I was just thinking, you guys talking about a lot about the directors, how they made the movies. What about the individual actors? Say, how do you think whoever played Apocalypse did?
Again, I told you Oscar Isaac looks bored just trumping around
what about
the film sets.
Say, do you think the voice that he made, or Do you think it fits?
They
with the
probably
character?
modulated his voice, and it does sound right. Obviously, if that's a question that you're asking, yes,
Yeah.
it does sound correct. It does. He does look the part. It's just he's not really given that much to do.
And for Alice in Wonderland, stars Mia Wazowski, I guess.
The best thing that
Johnny
that actress has been in is Crimson Peak. Go watch it.
Okay, Johnny Depp, which I like Johnny Depp. We all kind of like Johnny Depp in at least one thing. But, okay, the poster he's in, he looks like a cross between Helena Bonham Carter, which is the evil queen, and Madonna with that little tooth gap he's sporting. Yeah. And as he said, Sacha Baron Cohen is time.
Yes, he plays time.
Like,
I really
which
hope.
I think
the
he's
concept
a
of
funny.
time itself.
I think he's a funny man, but he represents time. Who
Yeah.
represents space?
I don't know.
Can you really represent the concept?
I
of
think that
time
it's
itself?
really. I really hope that they
yeah.
don't bring back that stupid dance that he would do called the Futterwacken at the end of this one. I really hope they don't bring that back. I have to be reminded about what that was.
All right. So if any of you have seen Alice in Wonderland 2, please let us know how you feel. None of us are really what we talked about excited to see it.
Not very enthusiastic.
If you're gonna
no.
do spoilers,
I was, but
say spoiler alert
anymore.
before you say anything else.
None of that was spoiled.
We're not.
No, I'm saying
Not
people
yet.
who leave in the comments.
I
They'll be like, yo,
Yeah,
spoiler alert.
we'll shoot
I
that
agree
up
with you.
for sure.
All right.
The funny thing is, we make it sound like the people are actually gonna comment on this. I mean, for the
might.
past two videos, it was
Hey,
the
we
same.
got some comments.
Comment on this literally, please. Help us out
All right.
here.
In terms of the rest of what's coming out, Angry Birds is still at the top of the box office.
No.
Yeah, how did it?
Captain
beat
America
Civil War?
follows.
No, guys, go
Nice
see the
Guy-
Nice Guys.
yeah.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
Nice
come on.
Guys is not earning a lot, and I'm very
How did that
pissed off.
It hasn't made enough money. It's made only like $15 million, and it cost
Jeez,
$50
can
million.
you give Shane Black some credit? He directed Iron Man 3.
He directed one of the best movies of the year, The Nice Guys. Go see it, seriously.
He directed Iron Man 3. If you
is a
slightly like
cry
Iron
for
Man,
help.
go see it.
Yes, this is a cry for
Alright,
help.
now, in this section, we talk about movies you've seen this week. I'll go first.
Ooh.
An hour ago, I finished up Zombieland.
An hour ago.
Nice.
Literally an hour ago.
Zombieland is so good.
I-
Classic.
Okay, I watched it starring Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson. You know what it's about. You probably, if you don't, there's zombies. You're welcome.
Twinkies.
I thought it was great.
I didn't know.
Very
there were zombies
clever.
in it.
Who would have thought?
called
Zombies in Zombieland. Never would have thought.
There was clever writing, and I think it actually made me shiver and like chill and like actually like open my mouth in awe about some of the scenes they're doing.
Yeah,
Like in the trailer when they're like beating in a zombie's head.
Bill Murray in that movie is hilarious.
That was funny. Anyone else seen movies this week?
Well, traditionally, because it's like a first week of summer thing that I like to do, I watch a lot of like the movies that I really like. So I watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, my favorite movie, and I watched The Truman Show, one of my favorite movies. Both films star Jim Carrey, obviously, and both films are fantastically directed and written, and just super entertaining. I also got to watch Scott Pilgrim vs. the World again.
Thank God.
This weekend, and well, not
Did it
this
ever lose
weekend.
its
This
charm?
week, no, it never does. Edgar Wright's direction is still on point completely, like super well put together. Oh, you have the Steelbook?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna steal this.
No.
Steal the steelbook. Steal the steelbook.
I'm gonna steal this for sure.
Which will you?
See ya,
Yep,
Mitchell.
yep, yep,
See ya, guys. I'm leaving.
Okay, well,
well.
Annoying Voice is out. Jack, you seen anything this week?
I did get a Steelbook.
We can say names.
Okay.
Alright.
I don't know. Mostly, I almost watched Angry Birds. Actually, was
Almost.
yeah. Instead, I watched Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah,
I
you
I
should
do
have seen
not
that.
regret-
We haven't talked about that with you.
You
How
fought
was
the
that
good
for you?
fight. Good.
That was. I honestly thought
Pretty
that
good.
was really good.
Yeah.
I really liked that movie.
Why did you like it?
It was action. It was like the thing that happens between Captain America and Iron Man. The Iron Man thing with his.
Are we also gonna agree that the Black Panther storyline was?
Sort of weak.
Can we not
Yeah.
go
Yeah,
back into
I will
that?
admit.
No,
I
let's
do
not go
like
back
the
into that.
suit though.
Oh, guys, I also watched.
you.
The suit was great.
I also watched Goodfellas this week, and that's one of the best movies out there. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. Why are you still listening to us?
I should probably watch.
Goodfellas is probably better quality than us.
And
Just
if
go-
you've
go
only
watch
seen,
it.
and
No,
if,
we're better
and
quality.
if the only
than
Scorsese
Goodfellas.
film you've seen is Hugo, like me, put it in the comments below.
I hate you.
And
What
GOG, what have you seen?
What is this?
GOG, what have you seen?
What have I seen? I haven't seen anything this week.
All right.
I've been playing Naruto all week.
We'll get back to that in
Nice.
gaming.
Yo.
All right, and finally, movie news.
We're gonna talk about James Bond casting.
Yes.
As you guys know, Daniel Craig turned down about 63 million pounds to do 2 other James Bond movies. That's about $99 million if you actually
Convert it into
US dollars. He turned down that
USD.
much money to do another James Bond, to do 2 more James Bond films. And you know what? I kind of understand it. He's done like 4, I think, and he's done. So
After
now
that
it comes
fourth movie, I'd
down
be tired.
to casting, and there's been a lot of casting rumors, like definitely like Jamie Bell from Billy Elliot, the Fantastic Four reboot, and also from Snowpiercer. He's a fantastic actor, the truth is, and I think that he would do a great job
And
as
Fan
James Bond.
Forstick.
I said he was in Fan Force.
I wanted to accentuate that.
But come
Everybody
on,
loves
that's
Ben.
just casting.
Read.
Anyway,
Reed and Ben forever.
This is gonna be a constant.
Anyway, Jamie Bell is not the only guy up for the role. The other guys up for the role actually would be some of the the big name ones are we first have Tom Hiddleston. He's actually being considered for the role, and we also that would be an interesting James Bond. And obviously Idris Elba is being considered because everybody wants a more diverse
Question
character there.
to all of us and the audience. I'll go around. Annoying
Yeah,
voice.
annoying.
If you could pick anyone for James Bond, you could also go with people who haven't been considered.
Yes.
Who would you want?
In my opinion, I would choose the actor Matthew Good. He played Ozymandias in Watchmen, and I think that he just has the right look to him, and if he bulked up a little bit more, he would, not bulked up, but just got a little bit, more muscle on him, he would be a fantastic James Bond. He has that look, he's got that, sly, cold look to him, but he's also got that charm look. And
I know.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
What'd you pick? Do you like James Bond, his movies?
Yeah, but I don't really know a lot of actors that aren't.
Is there
superheroes.
anyone stand out? Just anyone? Any actors you know who could be James Bond?
James Bond? I don't know.
Can I
Maybe
throw a
something.
comment out here that one of the other casting... Here's something you guys probably don't know, but one of the other casting, choices is actually Karen Gillan, I think is her name, from X-Files. She has actually been optioned
Karen
as being a
Gillan.
female James Bond role.
Karen.
From X-Files,
Oh,
yes.
I
Female
think
reboots.
Sebastian Stan could do this badass.
I do think he could do that really well.
Winter Soldier
Sebastian
could
Stan.
badass James Bond.
Yeah,
Jeez.
just be James Bond. Yeah, that would be interesting.
GrandOwlGaming.
GrandOwlGaming, yeah, what do you think of that one?
I think that I
If you
have.
care.
Yeah.
If you care.
I was gonna say, if you want my real opinion on this, but okay, I'm still gonna give my real opinion on this. I don't think that I know enough about the whole James Bond thing, or enough about people in general, to where I could give off
That's okay.
a good idea on who would be
That's
a
okay.
proper James Bond. I don't think I know people that well.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Well, that ends
Fair
movie
enough.
time.
Yes.
Thanks for listening. And now we move on to TV time.
Oh yes,
TV
news.
This is basically
Before we go into it, I just want to do some time check. I'm on season 5 of That 70s Show. It just got real.
Are you kidding me?
Mitchell's like
What the hell? I literally hate you.
Spoiler
I
alert.
hate
Turn the volume down. Hyde and Jackie are together.
I literally
Donna's back
hate
from
you.
California. Kelso's pissed. Eric Foreman engaged and failing math.
Mitchell's basically like an after image. This is the after image of Mitchell just talking
Is
to
it
us.
Shadow?
Okay, guys,
All right.
Phantom.
Yeah, Mitchell. the
we
fan.
got some.
In case you remember to turn your volume back up, it's over.
We got some. Oh well, there's more spoilers.
So please
coming,
watch.
So
please
sorry about that.
Please watch that 70s Show. It's an
more
entertaining
spoiler
time.
alert.
sometimes not laugh out loud, but it's very engaging, and I'm very engaged. Said
I will say this though.
Engaged like Eric and Donna.
Oh!
There are a little bit more spoilers coming because we're going to talk. At least I'm going to talk about season finales. Yay! Because we got a few interesting season finales over the past few weeks, like the Flash season finale, the Arrow season finale, and the Legend of Tomorrow season finale. Now I know that this is a lot of like, hey, do you mind?
Yeah, keep going.
I know that that's a lot.
Keep going.
I know that that's a lot of like.
Go.
Okay, I know that's. I know that's a lot. I was
Why
talking
are
about that.
you demanding the attention? Literally, the people that you should be worried about.
Here we go. Okay. That's a lot of superhero TV shows, but those are a lot of the ones that I watch, and I just have not been able to catch up on some other ones. But here's the thing. Legend of Tomorrow, the finale was okay. They did build. I like the fact that they built something that they're like building towards better things in season 2. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that one. But the Flash finale was fantastic. It pulled in a lot of old, like, Golden Age Flash stuff, and pulled in a lot of, like, interesting, like, Flash science and stuff like that. Some of the just crazier elements of the show, it pulled them in, and it worked perfectly.
By Flash science, what do you mean?
Well, you know how Flash has that ridiculous, how, like, I'm more referring to, like, the term of whenever they would, in the old comic books, like, write these little boxes off to the side, like, oh my gosh, the Flash can run so fast that he can, whenever he hits, like, a cloud, the Speed Force, like, electrifies the ice crystals, and he stands on top of the cloud and can run forward.
I thought it was that he's able to vibrate his feet at a vibration that the ice crystals were brought together and solidified.
That probably is it. Yeah.
I
Okay.
just read about that.
Did they do that during this show? It's
No,
like they would put like
didn't.
little commentary.
No, they didn't. But they did do like they did spoiler. Anyway, they did do a lot of like the after image back in time stuff like that. And it's the Speed Force and the vibrating the molecules thing. He's done it both ways. Anyway, so the thing is that then now let's get to a show that I've been watching since it aired. Arrow. The Arrow season finale.
Green Arrow.
It's called Arrow.
It's called
But
Arrow.
it's about green.
Yeah, but it's just called Arrow.
I know, I'm saying
Guys,
it's about Green
stop.
Arrow.
Stop.
Why
That
not?
finale was terrible.
Why'd they call it Arrow?
What are you guys doing? Seriously, here's the thing. There was nothing emotional behind that. Okay, spoilers, because I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here. The thing is that Green Arrow and Arrow as a show. Dang, why did I say Green Arrow? I hate this. So anyway, Arrow started out with season 1 and season 2, and it was this kind of trashy, a little bit kind of violent show that was interesting because it had Oliver Queen, who's just kind of messed up character, and it's him trying to be a better person or learn to be a better person, and then also have like all this other drama in there. But then, after season 1 and 2, it kind of devolved into the more lighthearted Flash stuff and motivational talks. And the biggest problem here is the season finale is that Damien Dark is about to launch like thousands of nukes. Stop giving us each other emotional talks and go fight him.
No, basically it's just all talk.
And then Oliver Queen gives like this really kind of lame speech to the people of Star City, and you're like, no, go fight him. What are you doing?
It's like, oh,
And
this is about
in
to
the
be a
end,
trap.
he
Let's
did
talk about our
end up
feelings.
breaking his rule in killing Dark. But honestly, that didn't even work very well because just how it was all orchestrated together, it fell super flat. This finale really sucks.
Where's the green?
And I really, really hope that they come back with better ideas.
Where's the green?
Where's the green? Serious question.
He's wearing the green suit.
Why
Shut up.
can't he add green in his name?
because they haven't called him Green. Actually,
Why
they might have
not?
called him Green Arrow a few times in the show. I think so. But anyway, that finale was terrible.
It's Green Arrow. It's
let's
just Arrow.
hope that they can do a better job and
I want to
bring
see
it
that in
back to its heyday whenever it was a really good, kind of like trashy but still thrilling show.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say about the Arrow.
What else?
Well, Preacher debuted finally. I don't think any of us saw that, but
I know
the
it's up.
reviews
I
have
know
been.
it's up for free. 9.2 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah. Well,
bars.
I have seen a lot of very positive reviews on it. Specifically, one on RogerEbert.com was really, really nice. They explained how satirically, like, funny it was at points and everything like that. And I like that because the truth is the comic book was at points too. So, good job, guys. I will be checking that out soon. I also wanted to talk about a show that has a special place in my heart because it's ending, and I'm
Should
very
we send it
sad
off with
about
some
this.
guns?
No, it hasn't ended quite yet, but it's going to be ending in the next few weeks or months.
Oh,
It's a show
okay.
called Person of Interest.
Yeah,
if
Person
any
of
of you
Interest.
guys watched
Oh, I heard
this
about
show,
that.
it was
Are people
a fantastic
Are they
run,
interested in
guys.
that person?
No shit, honey.
Not really.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's
These are those Mitchell
it
jokes
kinda
that fall
goes-
flat.
it
I
kinda
like to
goes-
make puns.
It kind of goes episode
Puns,
by
quips,
episode.
jokes.
Anyway,
Leave it to
I just want to
fighting.
give it a shout out to that show for being as fantastic as it's been for its 5-season run, and just like how great. That
Thank you for giving us
that
a person to be
Jonathan Nolan
interested
was.
in.
Well, people to
Yeah, I was
be
gonna
interested
say,
in.
it
Well,
should
it's
be
called.
people.
Then why is it called
Reese,
people?
Shaw, Finch, Fusco, everybody.
Cue the sad music.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wah, wah.
Okay, but even with that ending, there's a lot of good stuff to be said because we have all the new shows getting announced, like a lot of stuff from NBC, Fox, and ABC got announced recently, and CW released a few things on the shows that they're going to be releasing, like The Good Place.
Ted Danson is never without a TV show.
Yes, that is true.
I mean, he
Well, I
leaves
mean, why
one,
would
he
he?
gets another one, just like there.
The Good Place with Kristen Bell.
TV show to the TV
Yes.
show, like I replace ranch dressing for my salad. He really does.
No, he goes from Cheers to See Outside to something about lawyers. Now he's in heaven.
Anyway, The
TV
Good
has-
Place.
Oh wait, sorry, not lawyers, doctor.
The Good Place looks really. My impressions from the trailer are a little bit like it looks a little bit. The comedy didn't completely not all of it stuck the landing for me, but it still looks like it is super promising and looks like a really funny show. This is from the guys who did Parks and Recreations and The Office.
I like how they
Some
made
really
Heaven
funny stuff
really
there.
unbiased. in this
Exactly
case.
right.
My question is, how did they mess up, like Heaven, like in the story how they said they messed up in the trailer, like with the lady? How does Heaven mess up?
It doesn't matter. It's just making.
Yes, it does.
Shouldn't they have like an interdimensional, heavenly,
But
magical
you know-
supercomputer?
But you know what I'm saying?
Or God,
it's
like,
it's.
wouldn't they notice?
But if they messed up, then we wouldn't get the
So
show.
I'm saying, like, what if this is a theory thing I'm throwing
Fair
out?
All right.
What if it wasn't a mess up? What if God was like, I'm gonna do this on purpose?
Okay,
Bam.
before Joey has any more TV shows to talk about, I want to announce something.
What do you want to announce?
If anyone wants to watch That 70s Show with me, put in the comments below.
What the heck? You have a girlfriend.
No,
Why
like,
are you?
no, I mean,
Yeah,
I heard of this.
girlfriend do it.
I heard of this service called Rabbit, and you like video chat with someone, and you can watch Netflix together. That could be a contest-winning thing. Watch That 70s Show
Do not
with me,
Netflix and
Mitchell.
chill with Mitchell.
Netflix and chill.
God.
Like someone who watches us every week. Like,
Online webcam. It's all bad.
You tune in and you watch Netflix. It's not Netflix and
Is
chill.
it like what a weekly contest we're gonna do?
No, like just like
How many times can you
like
Netflix and chill
10th
without
episode.
viewers?
You want to watch that 70s Show finale with me? You're welcome.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
God, stop making everything
It
dirty,
seems
Joey.
like it seems like the rest of the TV slate is all pretty much like
always
reboots
dirty.
and time travel.
Gotta get
See,
down
here's
dirty.
the thing. But
mean
there's
like
a few
Mitchell?
creative stuff out there. Anyway, Here's the thing. Whenever I say time travel, I mean time travel. It's literally like all three of the big television people like Fox, NBC, and ABC, they all, and CW actually, have time travel shows now. This is getting kind of ridiculous. And NBC, Timeless. It's about a bad guy who steals a time machine and goes back in time trying to mess up history and stuff like that. So a team follows him back. That's interesting.
That looks cool.
Fox. Well, Fox has like the best one so far, Making History, which is basically two guys just messing around the American Revolution because a guy has a time machine. It's done by Christopher Lord and Phil Miller. It seems like it should be pretty good.
Wait a minute.
Because it's done by
I just thought of a TV show.
What?
I went to the Nice Guys, and we got there early. You know, like the first time, whatever it is.
The first
There's
time.
a new TV show on AMC. It's about like cooks. David Schwimmer's in it.
Yeah.
David Schwimmer's coming back.
Anyway, okay.
That's my rant. He needs to come back. He has so much talent to offer. You get a lot of talent. Let me say this. David Schwimmer deserves it.
He does.
It just sounds
Matthew Perry's finally got a show that was renewed for a second season on like his 4th or 5th try, so good job for him. Okay?
Good
That's
job.
it.
The Odd Couple, is that the one?
The Odd Couple's renewed because
Yeah.
a lot of his shows are canceled.
Okay, and the third one is Time After Time, which is a figure of history trying to stop other people from doing bad stuff. All of this stuff is very... And then, obviously, the CW has Legends of Tomorrow. That's 4 time travel shows, everybody. And then Doctor Who's coming back next year, so...
Wait.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Next year?
Yeah,
next
the
year.
season 10 doesn't come till next year. Yeah.
Yeah, they're having
Great. All the
big
time
off.
travel.
Speaking of people out of time, have ever any of you heard of the show Sleepy Hollow?
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved that show.
I was not sure if it was going to get renewed, but then it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the show That 70s Show?
Shut
Get
up.
out!
Shut up.
Yeah, Mitchell, everyone's heard of that.
What's
70s show.
wrong with it?
It's a fantastic show. It's just a little outdated at this point.
I know.
Outdated.
Outdated.
That's what Netflix
70s show.
Yeah, I know. Topher Grace left it to be Eddie Brock in Spider-Man 3. All right.
Anyway,
Wait, are we
there's
still
still more
Are we still on
shows.
everything else?
There's still more shows coming. Okay?
All right.
I want to see a Hellboy TV show.
I think that NBC's This Is Us looks a little too dramatic. I'm going to go on rapid fire talking about what I think about some of these shows. I think that Fox's Shots Fired is going to be a little bit controversial. I'm not quite sure if that's going to work. I do think that Fox's Lethal Weapon show looks like it's going to suck. I'm sorry, guys. It just
There's
does.
a Rush Hour TV show.
That one got canceled.
I know.
Yeah.
Figured.
TV show
I actually like that Rush Hour.
Of course
one.
you did.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not gonna lie.
You never lie.
Kinda
It's impossible for you to lie.
Fine, fair enough.
I kinda
okay,
enjoy
let's
it.
move on to the next
right,
section.
thank
because
you.
I'm done rattling on about television.
Well-
Thank you.
No, we're still on the everything else.
No.
Yeah,
that was everything else. that I had.
Yeah, everything else you have.
Oh, do you guys have more?
Well, I do.
All right.
Okay, so The Loud House got greenlit for its second
Yes,
season.
it did. Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, it did get greenlit for a second season.
The only thing that I'm worried about is that it got popular pretty quickly. I'm just worried that it's getting too popular for its own good, and eventually it's kind of like it gets a big head and then kind
Yeah.
of falls over.
I understand.
That's what I'm worried about, but I'm pretty confident. I mean, this first season has been going pretty strong. I'm pretty sure the first season isn't even over yet, and yeah, it's greenlit for a second one. So I'm pretty excited for that. I'm really hoping that they actually do
Matt
something a little bit more
LeBlanc
with.
has a new show.
Top
Joey's
Gear.
new show.
Top Gear.
No, it's called Man with a Plan. It's like a family sitcom, and it actually seems like it had some pretty funny, solid jokes in the actual trailer.
I heard
for it.
Matt LeBlanc and Chris Evans are playing Top Gear now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah.
Hey, have you guys heard anything new about Daredevil or anything?
Season 3 is just coming next year. That's pretty much all that we've heard. It's going to be filming
Everything's coming
alongside the
next year.
Defenders.
All right. Any more?
No, I don't have anything else. I'm out.
Any more?
Nah, I'm
Any
good.
other show?
What about you,
Spider-Man
Mitchell?
show?
It's an old Spider-Man show.
Not
Yes.
old one. Like, do you remember the Amazing Spider-Man? See how things have progressed. Have you seen anything with that other shows? Say, Like how Doctor Who, the old ones, and the new ones, how Spider-Man progressed, and Batman too has had a lot of different things. I think it was interesting how things
Just
evolve.
how each different series.
Yeah.
Like how they evolve and change. Like
Yeah, like,
Spectacular Spider-Man.
I can see how
Now this
like it went
Ultimate.
from Amazing Spider-Man. Well, actually, then that
To
just
the
means that
Ultimate
it's
Spider-Man.
basically making an arch as far as quality goes. Because like it starts with that Spider-Man show in the '90s, then it goes up to Spectacular Spider-Man, and then it just drops off the map with the terrible Ultimate Spider-Man.
I
which
like Ultimate
doesn't
Spider-Man.
characterize the character very well.
I like Ultimate Spider-Man.
That's just
I
because
really
they
love
make
that.
him Deadpool.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Wait, which
Why,
Ultimate
because of the
Spider-Man are we
fourth wall
talking
breaking?
about?
The Ultimate Spider-Man show, the television show, not the comic books. The comic book is amazing, guys.
Are we talking about the one on
The one on Disney XD. That's
Oh
the
yeah.
one. That's
Oh
really
yeah,
bad.
you mean the one to where they're basically traveling to like different universes and everything.
It's Deadpool, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
I don't
the
like
fourth
it.
wall breaking is a little too Deadpoolish. But
It
I
is.
just like it in
Those are
general.
too
That's not
Also,
why
the
I
character
wish.
acts like super irresponsibly. Not like without the responsible. Like he has power, but he doesn't act with responsibility. Anyway,
And that was a pretty big theme for Spider-Man with great powers and
exactly
great
right. That's the
responsibility.
entire point.
All right. Thank you.
Let's move on to.
On a final note, that 70s show. Okay. All right. TV time is over. Now for gaming time. And we only have one topic for gaming time, and that's a little game. Just came out, a little indie thing called Overwatch.
Oh,
An indie thing.
yeah, indie
The
thing.
little thing, probably never heard of it. It's probably not getting great reviews.
Oh,
just
wait.
small.
What about Doom 4?
Oh, Doom came out.
Don't.
Honestly,
Doom came out,
I'm not gonna slam Doom. Doom is pretty amazing. I've been
Yeah,
playing that one
That was
actually.
amazing. Doom was amazing.
Right.
I
Unless
loved
we're
it.
talking.
And you guys see the little
multiplayer
Easter egg where he
Doom
finds a
on-
little toy of the
on
old
Xbox
costume
and
and he
PS4.
fist bumps it?
Okay.
That was
Okay,
Yeah,
guys,
turns it.
so we're talking about Overwatch here.
Oh yeah,
Yes!
What's that?
Overwatch. We're about to.
All
get
right.
into
This is
it.
GrandOwlGaming section.
What?
Never mind. I forgot Overwatch.
Go on.
I was gonna say, you don't know what Overwatch is?
Go on.
Really?
No, I'm just
Blizzard's first IP in like how long?
Like years, basically.
GOG has been playing more than us, so why don't you talk about it?
I have been playing it ever since the whole open beta release thing has been going on.
Nice.
And I gotta say, it is just a great game. My favorite character has to be Genji of our
Oh my god.
our flanking
That
class
is my favorite
because
character too. Genji. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
the green cyborg samurai, because everything about that is just amazing.
Like I love how Genji can just like run up a wall, stand on top, higher than everybody, take out his little like throwing shurikens and just you know what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
Those throwing discs and just get him.
And then he has the deflection technique, and I'm also pretty glad that they have a bullet system, and then they kind of have like the energy beam system. Otherwise, Genji would basically be deflecting everything, and Genji would be OP.
Right? And also, the thing is,
Too
well, that's
much.
one thing that I really like about Overwatch. All the characters are technically OP, but whenever they interact with each other, it's like, it levels
Yeah,
it down. But it still
definitely.
makes you feel like you're overpowered no matter what. Like,
But Tracer is the most overpowered.
oh yeah, but come on, playing as
Tracer's
Tracer is really fun, and playing as
Tracer's
Widowmaker is extremely fun.
Tracer's ridiculous. It's,
Yeah,
it really
I like
is
the accent.
ridiculous.
it's nice. Anyway,
And about the whole Widowmaker thing, I don't know. She seems. I can see how it gets exciting at times,
It's fun.
but also she's the standard sniper, so it
I
gets
understand
pretty
what you're
boring.
saying there. Yeah. What kind of game mode do you like the most in?
The payload.
Is that the escort mission wherever you move, like escort?
Yeah.
The escort missions are my favorite.
Yeah, those are definitely my favorite because, well, it gives a lot of either like the speed characters or the stealth characters. It really gives them a chance to shine. And we're not talking about like the huge tanking class like Winston and everything,
Yeah.
where they can come in and it's basically over. Also, we got a bunch of other characters. A lot of the characters, though, don't seem to get a lot of love, like Zenyatta and everything. Zenyatta is probably my second favorite character next to Genji.
Well, the thing is that I like to see the fact that Blizzard had taken so long to work on this game, it seems, and that it had been that they've made something really good and that they've polished it so that it's like perfect. I like to see a company that does that, honestly.
Yeah, so finally we're just getting something great from Blizzard. I mean, Blizzard's done a bunch of good things beforehand, but
And
this
you know,
is definitely a crowning achievement right here.
WoW is still pretty good, but
Especially
think
with their Warcraft movie coming out.
I
and
think it
everything.
was somewhat better during the vanilla phase.
Yeah, now we just got all this other
Like,
stuff.
I know I must have been, like, so tiny whenever the vanilla phase was going on, but the vanilla phase was...
Especially
better.
compared to everything else that's been going on.
Okay, so we're gonna still keep talking about Overwatch, or do you got anything else?
Oh, I
like
think that...
E3 prep here?
Oh, yeah, the E3... Well, first we gotta talk about Xenoverse 2.
I've not played Xenoverse 2. Is this Dragon Ball Z thing?
Yeah.
Okay, go
Okay.
ahead. Shoot.
Well, first we had our Dragon Ball Xenoverse game that came out, and it was great. But now we're having Xenoverse 2 coming out by the end of the year
Nice.
in Japan. So that basically...
In Japan?
Yeah, in Japan. So that basically translates to either in January or February of next year in the United States. So I'm really looking forward to that. I just hope to God that we get a God mode for all of our characters here, because especially with all of the stuff going on in Dragon Ball Super, to where we got the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan and everything, and it just got ridiculous beyond all measure. And then we have our Frieza race getting their golden forms. I'm really hoping that we get something for the Namekians and the humans, because it really seems like that they're getting the short end of the stick, especially with Piccolo in the new arc. Like, he's really strong, but it just seems like that he's getting the short end of the stick every single time compared to all these other people. And we need androids. We really do need androids in this game. Because
So we need phones just running around, you know?
no, not those androids.
No, Android is a humanoid, kind of a gimmick robot, a Pinocchio.
Yeah,
It's supposed
but
to look human though.
nothing. But
I know,
nothing
usually,
like.
right?
But nothing
Android,
looking
yep.
like.
Just
Nothing
clarify.
looking like Cell. I want something more Android 17 and Android 18 based, not something that's like Cell based, to where you just got the half human, half arthropod thing going on here. And
Oh,
your giant antenna sticking out. And
I
it
got
just looks
something.
terrible.
Sounds like a
I got something I want to talk about with gaming. No Man's Sky got delayed. No! I wanted to play that game so much. It seemed like it would be a fantastic space exploration game. It would give us, like, finally that Star Trek, like, big space, final frontier, so many planets, like, experience, but it got delayed again.
Nope. We're just gonna have to stick with Star Wars Battlefront.
I hate you. Battlefront sucks.
We're just gonna stick with Star Wars
how it
Battlefront.
doesn't have like a campaign thing or whatever.
Exactly right. It just doesn't have anything. Okay, what were you saying about E3 here?
Our E3 prep.
Yeah.
So, the Great Storm, it is now approaching closer and closer every
You mean the
single
massive,
day.
like, show-off contest, basically?
The storm is finally appearing.
E3 is the storm?
Yes, this is the storm. So what are we gonna be basically doing here? What's the whole prep thing? Well,
Okay, what do you mean?
basically the prep thing that we have going on here is basically just talking about some of the games that they're gonna be displaying during E3.
Ooh, I'm pretty excited about Gravity Rush 2.
I am definitely excited for Dishonored 2.
Oh, nice.
Finally, the kids are growing up and everything's just gonna be great.
Ha!
I wonder what kind of bad guys we're gonna be, especially with Corvo's kid having these new weird powers and everything. I'm really excited to see how that's gonna turn out.
True.
I know during the churro I was like, okay, so doing assassin thing. Oh, whoa! It turns out that this kid has powers. What's going on? So I'm really excited to see what kind of powers these are, where they came from, and everything else. I know that Corvo had the whole time-stopping thing going on, but
Basically,
that was
he's
pretty.
Hero from Mini Ninjas.
That was pretty just.
Speaking
Okay.
of which, I heard there's going to be a Mini Ninjas 2 coming out, and there's a TV show soon to come out in English for Mini Ninjas, which a lot of people, including parents and myself, because I like ninjas, are looking forward to in America. It's like everybody, all parents are on YouTube flipping out like, oh my god, there's a TV show, when is it coming out in English? And it's like sometime this year.
I actually had no idea
Hold
about
on.
that.
TV show?
Anyway.
Yeah, for Mini Ninjas.
You know, another TV show.
Shut
Mitchell!
up! Shut up!
Final Fantasy.
That 80s show.
No, don't go Final Fantasy on me, man.
That is.
And
That
now,
was a thing.
guys, let's move on to the final segment that I'm so happy to talk about.
Okay. For comic time, Jack wants to say something.
What? No, wait. I want to say something after
No, you
do it.
have this right here.
Well, okay.
Talk about it.
I wanted to talk about how there's a lot of rebooting and, say, comic movies, like stuff where they base upon comics. You know, where there's a lot of that going on lately, where they're trying to go back to being more accurate and fixing things. Say, like Deadpool is like a fixing kind of thing, trying to make it a little closer after the Wolverine Origins fiasco. It's not like, I'm not saying it is specifically that, but it's just an example of how they're doing stuff like that more and more. I thought it'd be interesting, if wondering how far they're going to go with it, and how they're making a bunch of new Godzilla movies, and King Kong, they're going to remake that movie. It's not comic, but it's like a reboot type of thing. And I was wondering,
Skull Island?
oh yeah, yeah, all the way to 2020.
Skull Island.
Hopefully
Mitchell,
Kanye
what do
won't be
you-
president. But, dead jokes. But I was wondering, maybe, I would hope that they would remake at least an animated movie of the old comic Godzilla versus the Avengers. And I wonder what you guys would think
That
about
was
that.
a thing?
Yeah.
It was a thing.
That was the
It
thing.
was
It was
a
an
thing
old
back in the
comic.
1960s.
But they
and I think
rebooted it, too.
Godzilla kicked their
Ass.
That was a thing.
I mean, what would you expect? Godzilla's just a giant Hulk.
Now, let me take that whole reboot thing and run it right into what I really want to talk about with comics. DC Comics Rebirth Special came out this week, and it almost seems like a massive apology for the New 52. Congratulations, DC, you're back on your feet, and you got me interested again in reading DC comic books. There are going to be some spoilers on them coming your way here because I really want to talk about this.
They coming your way.
So after the New 52 started in 2011, so after 5 years basically of like a universe, the DC universe has finally come back to some of what it was originally. And honestly, I feel like they're trying to bring in a lot more hope and optimism into the entire thing here. So the issue itself is like Wally West basically trapped in the Speed Force or trapped outside of time, trying to get people to remember who he is because they don't know who he is. They don't remember. After Flashpoint, everything rebooted and people don't remember who he is. And he just needs to be remembered. That's pretty much all that it is.
Is he going through like some kind of identity
Yeah, and he's
crisis?
shooting. No, he's shooting through the Speed Force in time and space and just getting lost, and he's going to die. He's going to fade away from everyone's memory if no one remembers him. He struggles, and he goes, but the thing is that he says, the thing is that something intervened after Flashpoint. Some figure, and it's like a hand that reached down and changed everything. And the thing is that it was so surprising because
It was Odin.
because at the end of Justice League number 50, which also came out this week, Owlman and Morpheus are talking to, and Mobius, what the f***? Morpheus? What the hell? Okay,
Owlman
and Mobius are talking to each other, but then a figure appears and kills both of them.
No.
And in the middle of the rebirth, Pandora, who was there from the start of the New 52, gets killed by this figure also. Because these people remember. They know what happened. And the thing is that it's Wally West struggling through time and space, trying to find somebody. And then he meets Linda Park, the person that has always like brought him back after everything. But she doesn't remember him. And it's like a terrifying, just really sad
Played
scene.
Mad World by Gary Jewell.
Yeah, exactly. So Wally West is shooting across time and space, and then he finally meets Barry Allen, the Flash, and he's like, "Barry, it's me," and Barry doesn't remember him, and he's slowly fading away, and then slowly Barry remembers who Wally West is and pulls him out. And the thing is, it's such a poignant moment because it's almost like DC admitting, "Hey, we do remember these guys. We're gonna bring them back. And it's so good to see that. And then the issue ends with the greatest reveal page ever. Batman's in the Batcave, and he walks over to the wall, and he chisels off like a piece of the wall, a little rock in the wall, and what he pulls out is a little smiley face button with a red drop of blood across it. And the implication is that Dr. Manhattan was responsible for the entire New 52 happening, and it's kind of crazy that they like pull the whole Watchmen mythos into this entire thing too, and a very good way to explain what this entire thing is.
Does that mean the Watchmen are going to get pulled into the regular DC universe?
No, I just think that they were responsible for the fact that the New 52
But
happened.
it would be a cool thought, though, wouldn't it?
It would be cool. But anyway,
Rorschach
I'm
back.
super excited about that. Also, Justice League 50 wrapped up the Darkseid War in a very, very entertaining, very blockbustery way. You know, Jeff Johns storytelling. It was pretty awesome. But that was not the only twist this week in comics. Captain America. I spelled that wrong. Yes, guys, I understand that.
Justice G.
Just shut up.
So wrong.
Oh my gosh, why did I use a J? Oh no.
Hand it you.
Stop.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Never mind. Okay,
Captain America.
Captain America, in the issue at the very end, rescues Baron Zemo, flies away, and says, "Hail Hydra."
Spoiler.
I said there was going to be spoilers.
I just wanted to.
I was talking about.
I just wanted to.
Okay, fine enough. And then says, "Hail Hydra." Now, we don't really know the implication of this or actually what's going on, so I can't really talk that much about it because the truth is that I don't really know what's going on.
Wait.
Really don't. Like, I mean, maybe the cosmic being that brought Captain America back to his young age recently was working with Zemo, who was in the area also. That's probably what it was, and that's probably what it's going to result in. Yeah, that's what's going on. Those are like the huge things that's going on in comics. But does anyone else have anything else to say about comic books?
What happened with Nightwing? Something particularly I didn't like was his costume.
Nightwing. Well, what happened with Nightwing in the New 52, just to explain it, is that he had his regular book up until this event called Forever Evil, wherever the
No, I mean, like, I'm just talking about what I know about the New 52. I'm talking about what happened in the Rebirth.
Oh,
Like, did they fix his costume?
He's going back to Nightwing. He has the blue thing.
Thank
He's not
God.
Grayson anymore.
What?
And what are you talking about?
Wait, he's not.
The super spy, Grayson.
Oh, right.
After Forever Evil, he was the super spy Grayson, and then now it's going back into Nightwing.
Okay.
Alright.
So, anyway, anyone have anything else to say about before I give a little bit of a shout out to a book I really love?
I say this should bring the graphic novel Bone back.
Oh my God. What is
They are
with you?
That wasn't a joke. That's actually a terrific graphic novel.
I know, but it's like they already gave off their closing. It ended pretty nicely.
Not like
in my
Bone,
opinion.
exactly. They had a spin-off that turned like an actual textbook, which they turned
Bone.
You know
graphic
what I
novel.
think would be interesting is for Marvel, say something. You know how there's Superboy. There's like
Yeah.
he's a half Kryptonian, half Luther.
Yeah.
It was just a weird thought, which is yes, Godzilla related. Hail Godzilla.
Oh gosh.
What if there was, say, someone that made a genome-like clone of Tony Stark and Godzilla, and it was Tony's daughter?
That would be as ridiculous as when Tony Stark was a teenager.
Well, I'm just saying. I think that would be dope. And she kept it from him, and it went to this build-up thing where
great.
it was revealed or something.
What is going on here? Anyway, I'm
I
gonna
just
give
think
a
it'd be
big
cool.
shout out to a Image Comics book that's out there. As you guys probably know, if you're actually listening into this and you're comic people, you know that Image Comics hosts a lot of the independent creator comic books, like people that want to make their own stuff and release it. And I want to give a shout out to a book called The Fix. That's written by Nick Spencer.
The Fix.
It's basically I really
Felix.
there's
I'm gonna
two
fix it.
there's two issues out so far, and what it's basically about is two cops that are super corrupt, and they're also robbers, and it's a really fantastically written book. It's like an AMC show in 20
Wait,
pages.
is this a comic or?
Yes, it is a comic.
Oh, I thought we were talking about legitimate books here.
Nah, it's like an AMC show in like 20 pages. It's like Breaking Bad. It has the complexities of Breaking Bad in like 20 pages of each issue, and it's fantastic. I'm just giving a shout out to that. Seriously, go check it out. You'll love it. That's it.
Wow.
That's all I have for comics section.
Alright. Now we move on to extra time.
Our extra stuff.
Extra time. What's extra time?
It's extra time.
It's extra time.
Okay, what's
Oh, grab your friends.
We're going to Mitchell's basement.
It's not a very distant land.
It's not a very distant
Does
land.
that jump off the roof
Wait, what? Okay, anyway.
and fly?
So, what is extra time about?
Extra time is all the news that doesn't fit into the regular format that you want to talk about.
The new
Saturn.
Fiona and cake that came out. It's extra.
That's TV.
It's extra.
Talk about the
We didn't get to touch
one thing.
Fine, touch on it.
We're gonna touch on it.
Please, since you
Why
brought
do you
it
have to
up.
phrase things like that?
We're gonna touch
Why do you
on
have
it,
to
guys.
think of stuff that dirty? Like,
You do.
yes, I know.
Because
but-
it's my nature.
Alright, go. Fiona and Cake, please.
Oh yeah, the new
Yeah,
Fiona
cake.
and
Yeah,
cake
you
that
wanted to
came
talk
out
about
yesterday.
it.
Yeah, I really liked it, except for the fact that basically, you know that whole 5 short Greybles thing that they had going on, to where it's like they had the special Adventure Time episodes to where they would tell
I know
5
what
short
you're
stories.
talking
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they would give the thing. They basically made a Fiona and Cake version of that. And it was not very good, especially for Ice King's ending and stuff, to where it was basically like, the theme was tables, guys.
Okay,
Like,
here's the best one of Adventure Time. Ice King's pushing a wheelbarrow up to his castle, stops, brings out his trail mix, says, yogurt chip, and then puts it back in his pocket and keeps rolling.
Okay, that's
Okay,
definitely
I
part
want
of
to talk
extra
about
time.
something.
Okay, Mitch. Go ahead.
Ice King's insanity.
This involves YouTube. There's been a lot of drama on the YouTube community lately.
Oh no!
Oh no, our average run-of-the-mill stuff.
That, but there's also like topics of fair use. So recently, I know a lot of you.
You mean we're beating the dead horse again?
Yeah.
Hey,
At least you're not
are
speaking
you
monkey.
sure we should talk about fair use on this show? Because I really don't want YouTube to just take down the podcast.
Well,
Please don't.
some of you might
You didn't
know.
have to press my cold dead hands. You didn't have to fist fight.
H3 Productions was sued by some random parkour channel that isn't known over fair use after they did a reaction video on his parkour skills. And one, that's the Fine Bros territory, so I don't know why he's suing them.
Yeah, everyone's basically
And-
being...
Two, they've been sued for $100,000 and the trial is to last for 2 years.
The trial's gonna last for 2 years. It's gonna...
Yeah.
Who
So,
would want
I
that?
don't know. And then after that was announced, Philip DeFranco, all hail him, started a GoFundMe for them. And the goal was $15,000 to assist in their campaign, and in 24 hours, over $120,000 was raised. And that's amazing on its own,
So
but
is that-
a lot of notable YouTubers donated as well. Like Leafy is here, who donated $1,000, and the Fine Brothers. Who
I can't believe Leafy donated to H3H3.
Yeah, after H3H3 bashed him.
Yeah.
Had a whole 15-minute rant on him. And the Fine Brothers, who...
We can clearly see who's the bigger man here.
We all know Fine Brothers has been in some trouble recently, but they donated $10,000 because they've been fighting fair use as well.
Just because.
Yeah.
They have money to burn.
The point is, like,
Yeah.
fair use is something to talk about. Like, as H3H3 said, fair use isn't like, it can only be used as defense. It can't be used as your whole, thing. It's just, it can be used, but you can't, like, avoid being
Can we get, like,
charged
a
or
Red
arrested just
October
because
for
of that
YouTube?
alone.
Speaking of YouTube, I actually did, if it's okay, I wanted to talk
Sure.
about something. It's
Well,
been
we're in the
kind-
extra section, so...
You can talk about it. It's
Yeah,
good.
speaking about something that's been a hit and a lot in the community for 3 to 5 years now. I've only seen it for about 3 years. It's called ASMR. It's a Europhobic I don't even know how to pronounce it. Euphoric experience characterized by a static-like or tingling sensation on the skin. Basically, it's tingles that go down the scalp, back, neck, upper spine, precipitating relaxation. And it's usually meant in we
Jack's
ASMR
about
people.
to drop the science.
Ha!
He's about to drop some science on it.
Theoretical. It's like not like science. It's a study.
Oh, it's pseudoscience then.
It's a study, but it works. I'll tell you right now.
Okay, that's pseudoscience for sure.
Well, it works, but it's not like a
Anyway.
certificate. Wait, I wasn't done.
Okay.
And I'm mentioning this because it's meant for people who have PTSD, depression, suicidal thoughts, who have to deal with bullying, if you have insomnia, basically if you have problems in your life and you need relaxation or an exit valve and you don't want to get hooked on drugs, you look at ASMR and it's free on YouTube, so you don't need
I've
pills.
actually tried that in band class.
Really?
Anyway.
It was actually
Put on the
band class.
headphones and like it was like a barber shop.
Oh yeah, that was like my gateway drug to that. Because then I looked it up, I found a listening point,
gateway drug.
then figure of speech, you know what I mean. And then stop putting on 70 show.
Stop.
Mitchell. Yeah, but
Anyway.
basically if you have problems you want to
was
put on
alright.
headphones, look it up on YouTube, go to Ephemeral Rift, Heather Feather, or Tony Bomboni.
Was that our That 70s Show ASMR?
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to talk about something. I'm just going to give a shout out. Like, I may seem like the massive movie nerd, but, there's another person out there that's more of a movie nerd than the annoying voice out here. And that is the film analyst who's going to be one of our guests next week. And
if everybody shows up next
Yes.
week.
They're pretty close.
I just wanted to
Wink.
Oh yeah, they're pretty close already.
I just wanted to just shout out to go check out his website. He does movie reviews.
Watch
on
someone
there.
ship
It's
these
called
guys, 'cause we just said-
filmanalyst.weebly.com.
And
It's pretty cool.
And his YouTube channel. He's doing audio reviews of his reviews now.
Yes, he is. Go and check that out. That's pretty much all I got for extra time.
Yeah,
I just
but
wanted
you
to.
can't.
The only other
Hey there, all you listeners of Sitting to Twilight. This is GrandOwlGaming with a very special message. So it turns out in the gaming community, there was some other news out there besides that of the Dragon Ball stuff that we were talking about. And yes, it is Dragon Ball related again. So it turns out that a new game was just confirmed to be released known as Dragon Ball Fusions, with a trailer and everything being released. It is said to be released within Japan at the end of the year, similar to Xenoverse 2. Now, the interesting thing about this is that it's going to be an RPG style kind of game, which is something that normally isn't really seen before in Dragon Ball. I can't even remember the last time that we've had a RPG style Dragon Ball game, or even if we had one in the first place. It is also going to be released for the Nintendo 3DS, which might explain why it has a RPG style kind of game to it, considering that it's an anime fighting game. This is also pretty similar to the Inuyasha game that came out for the Nintendo. That was also very RPG like. Actually, it was an RPG, so I don't know what I'm talking about here. The main premise of the game is that you can be able to play as a customizable character. In the trailer, there are two that are shown here. I'm not sure why that's the case. It might be for the sake of showing that there's variety, or maybe there are two different kind of character classes here. But also there are a plethora of races that can actually be displayed here. We have characters such as androids, humans, Saiyans, the Boo kind, the Namekians. No Arcosians are shown here, the Freezer people. And we also have a character here that kind of looks like that related to Weeza's race in some kind of way. And that's another thing. It seems that every single kind of character is being released into this game. And I mean every single kind. The characters from Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT. But it only stops at the point to where it's the Battle of God saga. In this case, the revival of F, because we have the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, we have Golden Frieza, but it kind of stops at that point right there, which I'm okay with. I'm not really ready to see Dragon Ball Super characters in a game yet, in general. I'm really not ready to see them. What we also have here is, well, as explained before, it's an RPG style game, but also it's a fusion game, which means that we have every single kind of fusion available. But the only problem is that they're like little chibi style characters, so it kind of looks a little awkward. I mean, we have characters here that are fusing, such as Tien and Gohan and Krillin, Boo and Hercule. So we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of characters here. We also get characters such as, or in this case transformations, such as the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan transformation. But also, in the trailer, there is a 5-way fusion. 5 of the characters within the RPG team, they fuse together and they create like this much taller, much more serious looking kind of character that is in Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan mode. So what this means, a 5-way fusion, I'm not even sure about this. It looks great. I'm really looking forward to it. On the cover art, we have a fusion of Super Saiyan Goku and Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan. So, I don't even know what that's about. Like I said, every single character is going to be in this. So, I'm just really excited to see all the kind of possible combinations and fusions that we will have readily available for us. Because this is going to be crazy. I mean, the last time we had a fusion kind of game was just so long ago, and I'm now ready. I'm ready for this again. Okay, I'm done ranting about this now. We will now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
I guess that kind of wraps up what we were going to talk about in the first.
Kind of wraps up the whole podcast too.
Wait, I had an idea that I want to convey.
Sure.
Well, leave in the comments of what you want to see in the next episode and things, theories, or movies you'd like to see.
I want to talk about the new Space Jam.
Space Jam.
The director
yeah,
says
whatever.
that it can't work.
Say, would you like to see a movie, or at least an animated movie of Godzilla versus the Avengers? Leave it your answer in the comments and what you would want to see in the next episode.
Sure. Okay, I guess we're wrapping this up. I'm your host, The Annoying Voice, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
He's going to be a host for quite
I'm
a while.
MitchellMatthewsMedia. That's GrandOwlGaming, and that's Dino. Signing off from episode 3 of City in the Twilight. Make sure to come back to YouTube next week and today.
You know,
whenever you get this.
Eventually, we're going to have to stop saying these episodes. We're going to be like at episode 52 at some point. It's
Oh
gonna
no,
be
I
like,
know a concept artist that is in I think he's at 290 and he still says the episodes.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.